Well, call it mission accomplished. State and local officials call a recent trade mission to India a successful trip. CTV's Sonia Srivastava followed County Executive Rashawn Baker and Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley on their visit. She's still there and spoke with our Curtis Crutchfield earlier today.
Sonia, tell us some of your thoughts on this trip.
Hi, Curtis. Well, I'm so glad to be talking with all of you. It has certainly been a very fruitful mission for the entire delegation. Now, India is growing at a phenomenal rate with its 1.6 billion people. Now, Governor O'Malley is the first ever governor to visit India with a delegation of close to 100 people, including our very own County Executive Rashawn Baker and Montgomery County Executive Ike Leggett. This has been an action-packed trip. They visited the country's capital, New Delhi, the financial capital, Mumbai, and Hyderabad, a city in the south. Now, Maryland did sign a sister agreement with two states in India. And speaking of signing agreements, Oxon Hill-based Triple Stone Realty has signed a deal with an investor in Mumbai for $5 million to build a hospital that has an adjoining 100-room hotel in Brandywine, Maryland. Now, as you know, that southern part of the county has normally been, some feel, has been neglected when it comes to health care, so they are really hoping that this deal will provide that hospital with that 100-room hotel. Now, Bowie-based company Chesapeake Investments is working with a company in a city in central India to buy land in Maryland, and they will grow organic food. So we've had a lot going on here.
Sonia, political officials, leaders, government leaders often take foreign trips, mostly federal officials, but for the state and for county officials and state officials, it's not as often, and sometimes taxpayers complain, question these trips, but I take it, since there are some tangible benefits coming back to Prince George's and the state of Maryland, this seems to be a very worthwhile trip, would you say?
Well, you know, I definitely, since I've been here for the entire mission, I've been able to watch some of the connections that have been made. And I think for the taxpayers, it's important to know that the trip has been, like I said, nonstop. They've been meeting a lot of people that have contacts. And, you know, we may not see anything come out of it now, but they say they were here to build relationships. Now, we know that the U.S. economy, the unemployment rate is now at 9%, but India is growing at a phenomenal rate. There is a need for engineers here. There is a need for better education. We saw the University of Maryland here. Dr. Lowe traveled with about 5 or 6 of his top officials, and they were here to help the Indian schools develop a model that will help them educate nearly 350 million Indians in the coming 10 years. Now, we should mention that 30% of the population right now is under 25. We also had Montgomery College here, and they are trying to help India build a community college type system here. We also saw a lot of small things. There's a really, really small town here called Agra, which is famous for the Taj Mahal, but it also has a college called Dayalbagh College. And the students there in this small town are getting their lectures from a professor at the University of Maryland. And I traveled with that professor, and he was actually able to meet some of the students that have been taking his lectures from the United States. So, you know, technology is certainly making this world flatter and flatter.
And we will hear much more on the trip from Sonia Srivastava tomorrow.